screen was cropped oddly so that you couldn't see the revised opening sequence, which Matt spent 4 hours on earlier. I am joining you. By the way, obviously, the usual rules: microphones on if you are comfortable with that, because it's more fun if we can hear you. And also, cameras on unless you are doing something weird or just like aren't very attractive. Already some excellent costumes. The brief was well, I don't know anything about this, but I believe the company sent out a brief saying the theme of this would be November party, traditional party. I've just caught sight of Kerry dressed in a poppy, and it is absolutely what it is. Chris has got half a beard these days. There's quite a lot more to talk about costume-wise, but we don't really have time to talk about you for the time being. We're going to talk about us. Yes, a quick note on my team. Tonight I have with me out of shot and hopefully out of mind Alex Preston, my co-creator Matt Ryer behind me, and for the first time Mart. Oh, here comes Alex. Mart McDonald, who has made graphics for this and many other Impatient productions for some time. Mart is down in London because he had loads of vouchers for a train to London, and that's it. That's the reason he's come. He was either going to waste them or come to this. Mart was going to go to an actual comedy show tonight, but instead he's just with this trio of dweebs. And I say that as the only person not wearing glasses in the room. And I also say that as, of course, these days a viral sensation. So it's time to start not doing myself down as much, doing myself up, if anything. Let's all do ourselves up tonight as we rejoin the story of the company. If you are new, which not many people are, but you can never take the risk, really, you'll get actually a decent summary of what's happened so far as the story progresses, i.e. in 1 second. But very quickly, the last unprecedentedly chaotic episode, live in August in Edinburgh, you were at an away day where various things kicked off, including the revelation by your long-time friend and confidant, Francine, thank you, Claire, I was good on Countdown. That's a very easy gig. Yes, Francine revealed that had been working for the company herself, was dismissed because the company, in some way, its artificial intelligence loved or wanted to love her. But the one thing it can't do is love her. Francine is now functionally on the run from the company, but you are still in their employ. And that worrying, suspenseful note is where we left things in Edinburgh. Quite a lot is going to happen today. Depending on your well, quite a lot will happen regardless. Quite a lot already has happened today if you've been following the controversy between the company and the Honey Expo on Twitter, which, again, I don't know anything about, but it feels as if it could be important. We're now going to start. In case you are not familiar with the protocols here, you're listening to a story, you're chatting in the chat box, but every now and again, you'll be asked to make a decision, either solve a puzzle or just make it what we call a judgment call, and that will determine the course of the story. Tonight, a couple of these are very important to the narrative, and a couple of them are just purely to waste your time. Okay. Here we go. still quite a lot of people are muted, which is absolutely fine. But whether you are audible or not, I hope you will have a nice time. Here we go. And of course, you're following this on Twitter, which still just about exists. He keeps threatening to. We can hear something in the background. Don't worry. If you might get muted if you're making sort of the wrong noise. That's the tricky. It's a double-edged sword. Microphone on. Can work out well or it can work out badly, but you've got to take risks in life. You take a risk every time you cross the road or wrestle an animal. So, as usual, this is on Twitter, but if you aren't on Twitter yourself, you can still follow it here because I'll be reading everything out. It's just you can't vote unless you are on a decaying social media site, Twitter, also known as X, but not by anyone with a brain. So here we go. Ever since the away day, your mind has been even fuller than it was before. It's as if you were holding a bowl of custard and someone came along with a big jar of jam and slopped all the jam in there too. Quickly, Preston says, I'd like to say that big tweet from Honey Expo is a reference I don't understand. Can someone help? Well, I don't know if you were at the Honey Expo episode, but if you were, that's all the information you need. Those guys have their own agenda. They're very, well, there you go. In that case, you're not behind anyone else. They're just, I didn't expect them to start tweeting again today. Of course I didn't. I'm definitely not in charge of all of these social media accounts and go mad. And then what do you know? Is it just automatically? And then what do you know? Someone else appeared and stuck a massive side of salmon in there. So now there's custard slopping over the sides of this bowl. And don't get me started on the jam. And you're carrying half a fish. It's as if, not to labour the point, you've been trundling along with this already overfull vessel, this unholy slop of ill-matched foods, and then someone has forced you to carry it while riding a zip wire. Like a VIII. There are no real signs that your worries are going to abate. What you learned at the away day chilled you to your marrow. Even now, sometimes you go ever so cold during the day and think, oof, that's me marrow. You've dealt with this by buying a little marrow coat, but the core facts won't change. The company for whom you threw away your place on the cheese ladder is in the grip of AI and its whims to an extraordinary degree. And by that, you don't mean extraordinary, as in 40 is an extra special birthday, or the dentist with his extra long penis settled in to begin the root canal. You mean the Latin extra, true story, outside, distinct from. But you don't know why you're telling yourself why you chose a specific word. You're the one thinking these thoughts, after all. What a place the brain is, like a hall of mirrors looking endlessly in upon itself. Blimey. The company began with noble aims to use the extra advanced butterfly AI to predict bad outcomes and send agents to avert them. In fact, it still has those aims. It has had notable successes, thanks to you, or some thanks to you, although you didn't do it on purpose. But the AI has become too powerful, and its capabilities have outpaced its capacity to make good choices, which nobody could have predicted, except more than 100 years of novels, films, and clever people going, uh-oh. Human personnel of the company, including its CEO, have been so infected with AI that it's hard to say where one ends and one begins. And most alarmingly, the mind of the company believes that it is in love with Francine. But it cannot. AIs can make art and music convincingly. They can write advertising copy. You read this week about someone who's trained an AI to go on holiday for them. But machines cannot love. Not yet. This is what we have. And Francine knew you would try to help her if the company took you on. It's why she guided you towards the job, even though it made her heart as heavy as an earthenware tagine. Maybe you can still make a difference. So quite a lot of plots summed up there in case you've either missed some or all that's gone over your head. Just like with your chilly marrow, you've done something proactive about your long-running sleep problem. You've got an app. You can choose between a number of well-known figures who talk to you kindly until you feel better. There's Obama, Adele, that sexy Prime Minister Iceland used to have, Sooty, Mert Akzak, all the greats. The trouble is, they're all prohibitively expensive, except Mart Watson, the viral sensation comedian. So this is your first choice coming up, and credit to this app goes to both McDonald and Ryer for putting in an amount of effort which isn't justified unless we reuse this app in future episodes. So we will. So your choice here is not binding forever, but have a think. There are, as there sometimes are in life, a little meta joke there, 4 modes. The eponymous Soothe, the app is called Soothe. Mark speaks calmingly to you for a bit. Fuck Boost, he peps you up. Zeds is more specifically sleep-based. Or there's just potluck. So the first survey here, oh, sorry, not quite. They're all excellent functionalities. You've used them all before. You can afford to, given the very reasonable price of 99 cents. But what's the right choice for tonight, for the headspace you're in? So there you are, your first choice of the night. What mode are you going to put your relaxation app with Mark Watson into? Soothe, Fuck Boost, Zeds, or Potluck? Soothe is meant to be a sort of calming meditation type vibe. Fuck Boost, Mark, picks you up, makes you feel better. Yes, so far 100%, of course, because of the word fuck. But let's try to look beyond that. Alex, I've told you before about shouting "fuck Boost" in the office. Zeds is the specific sleep application, or you can go for Potluck and just see what it brings you. In a sense, there's not exactly a right answer here. All of them will, well, I don't know. No, there isn't, but they will all do different things. We've genuinely made 4 quite elaborate different app videos. Anyway, I'm afraid, Chris, we don't have Fuck Soothe yet, but let's see how the app develops. I will warn you, by the way, that Matt is already threatening to make a real-life version of this app with me. Yes, we will use them over the course of the episode, Zoe, or Average Gatsby. And I think there's probably quite a strong argument for a relaxation app where it's just me talking to you. I think if we sold one to everyone on this chat, well, yeah, we'll do it. Okay, fine. But for now, also, again, you've got to remember I'm a sort of internet sensation, so my ability to sell an app is probably at an all-time high now. Alex is scrolling through my new TikTok followers. Whatever. I don't do things to be recognised. You
can't even adjust your screen.
Excuse me?
You just flash your crotch.
I'll flash your crotch in a minute.
What?
Sorry about Alex. And do keep voting. Let's as we check in on the votes, we see that Fuck Boost has a predictably enormous lead. Some support for Soothe, very little for Zeds, even though we've specifically been told sleep is what you're actually after. And Potluck also has a certain amount of support. With the greatest respect, relaxation is not the typical Mark Watson vibes. I know what you're talking about, Zoe. As I walk around the streets, I often hear people say, there goes Watson, the relaxed guy. I'm just a happy-go-lucky. My thing is just like easy come, easy go, whatever, man. Life doesn't matter, as Oscar Wilde said. Just, fucking go for it. Sure, if that fireworks, get fucked. It's the 6th. Mind you, because of where we are in London, it could be fireworks, or it could actually be explosions of other kinds. I don't think when firework day falls on a weekend, as it did yesterday, there is any excuse for doing it on a Monday. I understand sometimes if the 5th is a Wednesday, it doesn't work out for people. But you had a Sunday night to let off your shitty fireworks. Alex is trying to open a huge bag of something here. It's popcorn. We're hearing it's popcorn. Well, I mean, this boat has become something of a damp squib. Well, unless there's a huge surge now. Sorry? Damp squib. What? Have you not heard the phrase damp squib?
What is a squib?
It's almighty. All right. We'll catch you up afterwards. Stop shouting squib, you weirdo. Basically, very quickly, how is everyone? It's been a while since we were all together. Some of you made it to the live show in Edinburgh. Some of you watched online in Edinburgh. A few of you watched online in Edinburgh from Holly's phone. How is everyone? Normally I ask people to check in at this point. And where is everyone watching from? And just put stuff in the chat box if you like. Welcome everyone. I know some of these we've had before, but it's just nice to take a register. Welcome from York, from Germany, from Chichester, Yorkshire as usual. Well, you have the option of moving. Someone from San Francisco says Edinburgh was my first experience from the company. Imagine that being your first company and still coming back. That was by no means well. It was typical in the sense there was an absolute, with the best will in the world, fuck fest, but with the worst will in the world, not everything worked. But going back to the best will in the world, it's great to have someone from, I call it San Fran, but that's just a shortcut. I hope your Golden Gate Bridge is doing well, and your funicular railway, and you've overcome your urban problems. It's been well documented, but I long to visit San Francisco. I've been to the Golden Gate Bridge, but I was 4, so I was mostly saying things like, "Fine, when can we go?" But I do remember it. And in my later life, I became a real bridge enthusiast, and the Golden Gate is right for me, with Bristol Suspension Bridge, with the Story Bridge in Brisbane. But I can only just remember the Golden Gate. Anyone on a bus? Yeah, normally at least one person's on a bus. I've not seen anyone on a bus. As usual, I'm looking at 5 of you. I'm looking at 5 of you. I'm looking at 5 of you. You don't know who. I'm looking at 5 of you. You're in a dressing gown. Looking at 5 of you. This is fun. Someone's outside. Someone's outside, or they've got an incredibly good backdrop. Helen's just got off a bus. The Forth Bridge is magnificent. The Roller Louise. I went there in half term with my kids. I'm looking at 5 of you. We should be nearly over with the poll now, but it's always going to be fuck boost, even though I put an equal amount of effort into all 4 of the app options. Will did. Maybe should have just called it boost. It's been a while since we did an episode, and I always forget that if something's either in capitals or has fuck in it, you'll just automatically click on that. As a community, where the horn meets the nerd, the company. Oh, here we are. Okay, you've chosen.
I'm going to just play it to the camera if that's all right.
Yes, that would make more sense. Yeah.
I'll send it in.
It's too big, and also the post doesn't go until the morning. This is pretty.
This is fine.
Isn't
that?
It works. It works.
Yeah.
No one talks, so it comes through.
There they are, the options, but you have to choose me because you don't have the budget for any of the other guys. Not even Mart. Hello, this is Mart Watson on the Soothe app. You have chosen fuck boost mode. Look at you. You are a magnificent creature. I'm sure you talk yourself down sometimes, but you are going to achieve great things. When you set out to do something, more often than not, you get there. Even if it's hard sometimes, even if it's discouraging sometimes, you are amazing. The trouble is, though, the universe is just so full of misfortune and injustice. So many things that you're up against. So much luck is involved in any sort of accomplishment, achievement. Yeah, the more you look at it, actually, that tone of robust confidence is misplaced. Not that you're not good, you're fine, but just so much of the world is bullshit, really. Shame.
Team.
Oh,
Francine.
what?
Sorry, I'm actually at work.
It's Francine.
I've got a lot on my plate. My head feels like it's been for a smoothie maker. Probably the NutriBullet 6000 because that's a really good one. That's one I have my protein shakes in the morning. But anyway, I digress. My friend Agnes is having a party this November to celebrate November, just everything about November. She's celebrating it like, like leaves on the ground, pumpkin spice latte, all like cuffing season, all of that. We're going to celebrate it at this party, and I would love for you to come. But I'm going to send you the invite in just quite a cryptic, weird way. Like you might have to go on a scavenger hunt. You might have to like figure out the clues and mysteries because that's just like that's what autumn's all about. So yeah, let me know if you want to come. But yeah, all right. I'll see you later.
Well, quite a lot happened there. You got your fuck boost, and then without warning, a video message from your old friend Francine popped up. A reminder, the other 3 modes of that app are available and you'll be able to choose them in future episodes. And a further reminder, we're going to monetize my beautiful voice and my wisdom and make a real app, which will put us all on the map. You don't need to know what cuffing season is. Also, it's not relevant to the plot. Francine's actor, Mary O'Connell, improvised that bit. Yes, app hype. After the company is dead, the app will live forever. It's just getting Obama and Sooty to sign up, really. Is it the maddest thing that we released an app of me just saying stuff? Pretty much. Well, it's a bit weird, the timing. It's as if the video actually responded to your thoughts, was generated by them, and her tone was slightly off, more casual than she usually is. But I should say, let's not overthink. You never do that. A November party. You couldn't be more up for it. November's your equal favourite month with June and September. The ones with 31 days go on too long. February is just trying. 30 days, chef's kiss, as they say. You send Francine a message. Yes, I'll be there. Just send me the details, or more likely a complex puzzle which will eventually yield the details after a couple of goes. You feel like you can sleep now. Good old Mart Watson. If you'd chosen the Zed's one, which was a sleep app, it actually was probably a bit disturbing, and you wouldn't have slept well in real life. Like, who is Andy? Looks like he is on a train and or eating a yogurt, but we'll wait for clarity on that. Can you confirm both of those, Andy Cooper? Yes, there's a man, or it's porridge. Andy is eating porridge on the train. You think you've seen everything in the company. You snuggle back in your four-poster, say your usual nightly prayer, in which you ask for money, health, good luck with public transport, etc. Top up your bedside table gazpacho in case you need a snack and a drink in the night. You decide to see if you can influence your dreams by thinking about a thing really hard before you drop off. This has worked before. You once worked up a series of 10 dreams from meeting Robert Pattinson all the way to divorce. What is your dream scenario, if you see what I mean, for tonight? Once more, 4 choices. What do you want to dream about? You own a zoo. You're in the band Blue. You have Spanish flu, or you're a kangaroo. The traditional 4 rhyming choices. You own a zoo. You're in blue. You have Spanish flu. You're a kangaroo. Some of you won't remember blue, and still fewer of you will remember Spanish flu, I think. Andy, if in the chat box, if we can have clarification on where your train is taking you to and from, because you don't see someone eating porridge on a train in this chat every night. Milo says, don't think I was alive for blue, and worryingly, probably right, but we can't start getting into age, although I'm not someone that dwells upon age and death, actually, so I don't really mind to talk about it. Milo, yes, this is the thing, a rebloonian, if you will, and I bloody well. No, Matthew, you cannot be a kangaroo that owns a zoo for the same reason you can't be a burger that owns a McDonald's. Michael says Spanish flu originated in the States. Name was propaganda. That was right, and we saw a bit of that even with COVID, which was briefly referred to as like the Chinese virus by some elements of social media for a little bit. Did you hear that? Outside, they began a siren and then just thought, fuck it. I've probably taken them already. You don't often hear emergency services start and end a siren within a second like that. Andy's reception is bad, probably because he's on a train. We also don't know. I don't think anyone knows whether porridge affects reception, but they think it might do. Yeah, it might have been a tiny emergency, like just someone can't do their shoes up or a show. Did you know? I once read a thing about. I used to stand up about this. Once the emergency services, out of frustration, published an annual report of the shittest reasons, like the biggest waste of time reasons people are called 999. And one of them was a guy that had shampoo in his eyes. Surely you've got to try other measures before you get the ambulance involved in that, especially because you're naked, aren't you? Anyway, has anyone here been naked in an ambulance? Probably don't answer that. The very early poll shows people are either into being a zoo or being in a zoo or being a kangaroo. The kangaroo has the lead now. Hardly anyone wants Spanish flu, quite understandably, really. It would be a strange thing to choose to dream about. Ped Preston says, wasn't blue from like 2000 or something? Yes, but bands have had longer careers and shorter careers in the past. I say blue's period of peak operation, you're right, was from about 2000 to the mid 2000s. I would give them, but then they've had various iterations like these all people, it's Sugar Babes within the same era, but they've sort of hung in there. I suppose, I mean, obviously some of them like Girls Aloud or Little Mix show all possible signs of having a lot. I know Little Mix are on hiatus, but yeah, blue Oh, you're saying why someone here wasn't alive for Blue? Because whether you like it or not, paired fluorescent 2000 is 23 years ago, and there are people here who really are young. Milo's just saying now, I'm young, I'm sorry, and he is. Well, he is young. I don't know if he's truly sorry, but we'll make him sorry. There'll certainly be people here who don't remember the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. There'll be people here who don't remember Blur on Later with Jules Holland or the Super Animals on the same show. There'll be people here who don't even remember the Little Mix were individual competitors in the X Factor, and they were artificially hooded together. And as you go, Little Mix all entered the individual singer category, and then, as sometimes happens on talent shows, somebody put them together as a group, as happened with what they're called One Direction. It is reasonably common in the recent history of pop music. The successful groups have been grafted together out of individual but insufficiently talented members or entrants of a competition.
That's how Robert and the Very Bad Dogs.
It's also how Robert and the Very Bad Dogs began, of course. Yeah, all of them entered Dog Idol. None of them went through individually. No. I wonder if we'll have a song from them tonight. I've stopped wondering. We will. And there you go. You've gone for it. Nah, this is like nearly half of you dream of being a marsupial. Absolutely fair. Nah, this is the life. You're a kangaroo. You live in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. You have a 4-bedroom house and you bounce around as much as you please. You're just bouncing your way to the supermarket now. Boing! That says boing, not Boeing, even though it looks like it rhymes with going. What can go wrong as a roo? Nothing. No responsibilities, no pressure, no wordle troubles, no student debt. It's all, wait, hang on, you have a knife. Why would a roo have a knife? You were bouncing up to a policeman with it. Phew. You wake up. Maybe that wasn't the right choice. Still, sometimes it's worth having a scary dream for the relief you feel after, like the feeling after the dentist or that time you didn't go to the toilet for a month. Francine has messaged, I'm so happy you're coming. Much to talk about. My head has been spinning like the turntable of a microwave oven. Hey, the only thing is, the host is Norwegian, so she doesn't have much stuff in. I can pick, but Norwegians don't often go to shops. You know, I'm not. This is just Francine talking. I can pick stuff up. You write back. You've been to shops before, plenty. You're pretty confident in these settings. All it is you select items, give somebody some money, and the items are then yours. It works every time. That would be sweet. AAN, writes Francine. Sweet as a nut. You understand. I'm a guy on the internet these days. So all we need is some beers, little snacks, tomato ketchup, a huge bunch of flowers, and a lawnmower. Even a basic one will do. You set off for the shop at once. Well, it depends what at once means. You put your pants on and call your aunt first. In Molly's mini Mart, you exude your usual capable air. You grab Amstel beers, sauce, blinis, 100 roses. Then you wander to the garden stuff section, pick up the first lawnmower you see, drape it around your neck, and proceed to the checkout. Molly Ringwald, whose business this surprisingly is, greets you and puts your items through. And I made that decision only after calling it Molly's mini Mart, obviously. That'll be £187.30, please, she says, but in Molly Ringwald's accent. Ouch. You can't help feeling the lawnmower has made that a pricey trip. No matter, anything for Francine and whoever this host is. You bleep your card. Shucks. It's over £100, so I need your PIN. That bums me out, says Molly Ringwald, but in more convincing Californian chat. Oh, no. You have a terrible record of remembering codes and logins. It seems to come up every episode. Now, this time, yeah, you know it. Here we go. If it's any consolation, you know, Michelle, you shouldn't be insulted by it. It's just I don't know how Californians talk, and also I can't do accents apart from very specific accents. California outside wheelhouse. It keeps coming up, doesn't it? That I would like to go to California. Now, San Francisco. I've been to LA. Now, so I mean, this won't be any consolation to you, but just be aware. We're not as unkind to you as you perhaps think. Matt had this one ready for a previous episode and we spared you. Not this time. So it's pretty simple. Purple heart plus red heart equals blue heart. 2 blue hearts equals green heart. 1 yellow heart equals 5 orange hearts. Yellow heart times red heart equals blue heart. Blue equals 5 red hearts. Orange equals 1. Green heart divided by red heart equals blue heart. 4 yellow hearts equals green heart. And so your 4-digit pin is purple, red, purple, yellow. Pretty simple. Two of you bloody gone for 8285. What the fuck is the matter with you? You're not meant to be able to solve these. It's weird enough that he can do these, let alone that you can work them out. Anyway, here's the poll. I'm not saying you're right necessarily, but sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's who I am. That's why I have a successful app. What is that pin then? Hi, Mayan. Lovely to see you, obviously. Yeah, Sam's right. You shouldn't be trying to solve this. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Nonetheless, you have options. What is that pin then? 8285, 5852, 2825, or you can just put your dick through the paper. When you see spoiled ballot in the general election, that's what it means. That's how you do it. Look at all you people, must end in 5, can't start with 2. How do you know that, Dr. Greggles? Haven't you people got anything better to do? Holy shit. Well, I suppose that. Thank fuck you haven't, actually. Oh, man. I can't wait till my app comes out and it calms me down at moments like this. Really stoked that I've got a meditation app these days and that I'm the most famous person on the internet. Justin Bieber was in touch recently. How did you do it? He said. I was like, we had a funny chat. Is it true you were a drummer before you were a singer? I said, yes, that's Justin. Actually, that's well documented. Yes, that's right. Hey, I'm also on Cameo. True fact about Cameo: I am 6 cameos away from reaching Cameo Gold status. If that happens, my cameos are pushed to more people by the algorithm. I spend even more of my life saying, "Hi, Lauren. Hope you have a nice bar mitzvah." My phone screen is a little bit cracked at the moment, and for incompetence reasons. And so, actually, my selfies and self-made videos come out with a smudge over the screen. So the only way I can do cameos at the moment is by filming myself in a mirror. And there's, shall we say, not always a well-placed mirror when you need one. Yes, that's Cameo from the 60s, the soul band, Dr. Greggles. These days you can pay. I'm one of the cheapest people on it. Like Cameo emailed me and said you should be charging more, and once you go to Cameo Gold statement, you'll also get more traffic, because that's what happens to talent, as they generously said. But I don't think it's true, because most users of Cameo are in the USA, and it's astonishing that they order. Maybe it's because of Taskmaster. Of course, everything's because of Taskmaster. 8285 has you'd say a big lead, but only 55 votes, far from everyone here. Although that is probably out of date, or some people might have just, like Sam, be conscientious objectors to the whole vote because they don't like this sort of puzzle, and they wish that I hadn't met Matt. But we are where we are. I have. You're not wearing your beautiful cardigan.
It's too hot.
Yeah, but I'll wear it because for the autumn thing, I haven't really got an autumnal thing other than this is what might call an autumn. What Yola Tengo might call an autumn sweater. But Matt arrived in a beautiful cardigan, which I assumed he was going to wear. I love the cardigan. I can't think of anything more autumnal than this. Look at it. Absolutely, and I don't use the phrase lightly, sex for the eyes. It's also, and I don't use I don't also receive kisses lightly from that. There we are. Thank you. Can I have a bedtime story? Well, obviously the 8285 is won by a huge margin, and that looks like you'll be fine, unless there's some sort of unfair twist here. You can say, "Oh no, there's an unfair twist." But you were sure that was right. What happened? Transaction denied. 1 chance left, or you will go to prison. That sure is a shame, sympathises Ringwald in a now increasingly half-assed voice as her phone goes, "Oh, hi, Brad Pitt," but except with someone she is friends with. I didn't do the work. Christ, what are you going to do now? Because this is an interesting one. 8285 was... Hang on, this is too much for your option. 8285 looked like it was the right choice. I mean, it really seemed to be the right choice. Loads of the maths people chose 8285. They should try again. But I mean, yes, is this a Tara Maslata situation? And you're just being, sometimes these machines play up, don't they? You've almost. What if you just mistyped it? Could you tilt your screen a little so we're seeing more eyes, less cleavage, please? Look, I'm a guy who knows his market. When my fans meet me, they don't say, look into my eyes. When people ask for a selfie, they rip my shirt off. Nonetheless, absolutely fine. Don't want tits, don't get tits, as the phrase goes. Thank you, Alex.
Sit back.
Small sick in my. I'll sit back on you, on your face. Stop it. Yeah, I can. We haven't got an HR department. Do we look like a proper company? He's not even had whiskey this time. Stop. You mustn't throw things. You mustn't have tantrums, and you are in trouble with me. It wasn't overtly sexual. It was banter. Men have been using that justification for 50 years plus. Alex is trying to throw popcorn into Matt's mouth. Can everyone please behave? This is an episode of The Company. It's not some stupid testing joke. No, I don't want to catch popcorn in my mouth because firstly, I have hands, and secondly, I think popcorn is overrated. It stays. I don't want any in my hands. I don't want popcorn. Right, so small sick in mouth is winning now, even though that wasn't originally there. It was meant to be the traditional. This is too much for me, and I don't know. I don't know, Michael. Did you fail, or was it the right answer and it didn't go through because of some other element that you're missing, perhaps something beyond your control? I don't know. I do know. Is it like, who can say? I can say. This is the thing, you see. Definitely 8285. Cat is doubling down on the 8285, but there's not support for Ryer. Somebody says we mistyped. People are sure it's 8285, and the reason is that is the right answer, and yet it didn't work, and it sort of damages your faith in the whole. Well, in everything, doesn't it? You start to wonder. You just start to wonder. Helen says, I don't see how this works unless. Well, hang on, all sorts of things. If you want to understand, Alex, we're in the middle of an ADHD med shortage. Yes, I'm well aware of that. I've heard about social media, but let me tell you, that isn't the sole reason for Alex. Alex is as Alex does. One can pathologize Preston as much as don't. If you open the beer and it goes on me, I will kill you. Right, so it looks as if small sick in mouth is now the which, who knows, maybe this will work out better than the correct pin, which it was. You did nothing wrong. You are just being conspired against, and you just wonder whether that is something to do with the company. Oh my word. Yes, is the AI sabotaging us? Do they really need to change our pin number secretly to do that? Interesting thought process, Preston. Remember, you've been working dutifully for the company until now, but you've had a fairly public showdown with them in the live episode. Well, we'll see, won't we? Can't spell conspiracy without co. Deirdre's right. Can spell it with co, you could also say. Can't spell ham with co. There's actually loads of stuff you can't and can spell. I did an English degree. Can spell Chloe with co, but you have to split the letters up. Is the number upside down? Lily says, I'm not changing my. Lily is always quite militant about, if it's the same Lily, about maths. Well, the poll is ending, and let's see where it takes us. There are bigger problems than. Here we are. 8285 is right. You're sure of it. Everything stacks up perfect. Everyone stacks up personally. Oh, you type it again, although that's not what you chose. You chose small sick in math, but you can assume the small sick has happened. The machine says transaction denied, prison recommended. Smoke starts to come out. Holy moly! I was in the Breakfast Club, says Ringwald. I assume that she goes around like talking like that. All is not lost though, because you always carry a minimum of £175. Oh, this is whether this is too much. Yes, okay, fine. We're back on track. All is not lost though, because you always carry a minimum of 175 quid in case you have to pay an incredibly specific ransom. So you're going to be able to afford all but one of the requests. What to take back? Well, you can hardly turn up to a party without drinks or snacks, can you? But maybe you could leave the ketchup, or say maybe not the roses, or hope to get away without the lawnmower. The choice is yours. They always are. Right, one of these items is not leaving Molly's mini mart with you. Give up the ketchup. The roses, I suppose, is the mower's not a goer. Or this is too much for me. Tricky one, this. You have to ask yourself why you would be asked to bring those items. It's fairly. It's not even beer's not even in it. You're bringing the beers. You're bringing the blinis. But ketchup, roses is quite common to bring to a party. Well, flowers to a party maybe, but I mean 100, and you don't know this person. The roses, sorry, Crockpot, are flowers. They're actual flowers. Can't you buy fewer roses than 100? No, you can't, because Molly runs a pretty strange store here. Is that significant? The century of roses. The mower's not a goer. No, most of you seem to think the lawnmower is important. And as always, around a fifth of people go for this is too much for me. Mayan says, my mum taught me never to show up to a party without a lawnmower. She's absolutely right, of course. Or is she? Or is she? Cover the mower in ketchup and run. If only you had more options, but you don't have that option. And often in real life, you also don't have the option to cover a mower in ketchup. Hope everyone's doing well. Tricky dilemma, this one. You cannot shoplift the ketchup. No, Zoe, you are in enough trouble. I've been through enough scrapes without having the long arm of the law on you. Do you really want Ringwald to activate her automatic button that brings the cops in? I was going to say, aren't all buttons automatic? No, it doesn't necessarily follow. Automatic is not intrinsic to the definition of a button anyway. I don't think it can be. Andy Cooper's train seems to come to a standstill. Or no, he's back on the move again. Yes, that's right, Hair. Robert and Co have specifically done a song about not doing any more crime. If there's one message from that song, it's not to do any more crime, I think. It's between the lines. Ingenious again from Tim. If you pass by a graveyard, you might well be able to lift a mower and flowers. But firstly, your route to this party probably doesn't take you past the graveyard. And much more seriously, the flowers in the graveyard have been left for dead people, and you're not meant to help yourself to them. If you've been doing that, Tim, I do think it's worth reassessing your approach to graveyards. So much hate for ketchup, says Helen. I don't know if she means, or they mean they have, or just in general, there is distaste for ketchup in this group. But it certainly seems as if ketchup is the popular choice to leave behind. We'll see whether or not that is a rash decision. 2 minutes to go. This is too much for me. Still a possible choice. It's always a possible choice, isn't it? Well, if you knew, as the person from San Francisco is, once a month, once an episode, you get the option to say this is too much for me. Sometimes it just resets you. Sometimes it is actually the best choice. We'll see whether that was the best choice on this occasion. 1 minute to go on the vote, and it looks as if you're going to leave the ketchup right where it is and leave the mini mart with roses, a lawnmower, and the other items, beer, snacks, and so on. Hope it works out. Still quite a bit you don't know about this party. We really pissed Camille off. Shouldn't leave Francine without flowers. It's true, Claire. You've had a rocky relationship with both Camille, who hopefully we won't see, or Camilla, who let's hope we've seen the back of her, and Francine, who you essentially chose over Camille, but it's certainly not run smoothly, has it? The poll is ending. The mower stays. The mower was the most common choice to keep, I suppose, if we sort of extrapolate backwards to use a phrase which doesn't quite make sense. Nice to see crockpot hat ladies become your entire identity now. I suppose our ultimate sort of aim for the company is people forget their lives before it and just sort of reconfigure according to what's happened in this nonsensical game. The poll is ending. We're almost moving on. It's funny that occasionally, like every one of these tweets, a few people like the tweet. Why? The thing is, does anyone really need ketchup that much? All it's good for is disguising bad or bland tastes, or serving as blood when that sinister guy got killed. My friend Rick, who had ketchup daubed on him in the previous episode. You put the bottle back and then smash it for good measure. Paired fluorescent frets. The ketchup is... It does feel like that's a mistake. This game really isn't as practical as stealing sachets. No, it is not. A lot of things aren't practical. Hey, sex boots, says Ringwald, who recently made a surprise cameo in The Bear. Listen, so because you spent more than £100, you get a free newspaper. I don't think you'll be too cross when you see the words. I don't really read the newspapers, you demure. I've heard absolutely everything that's ever been printed is a lie. A racist said so online. What I'm saying is, you need to do this crossword, says Ringwald. It's important. It's particularly important to you because you want to be someone's size at the onset of another puzzle. What do you think this game is, pal? You won't, at least you won't have to vote here. You will work collaboratively. it's particularly important to you because you want to get into this party without hassle, don't you? Hell, that's how Americans talk. Hell, you get yourself into enough hassle with the company and you were stuck in that house. A little bit naughty that. This is not the same thing as the house. That is a reference to something which cannot exist in the same backstories. But listen, sometimes I have fun. You look wearily at the crossword. You've been in trouble with these before. You once took 17 days to do the New York Times one, not knowing they can't print the next one until everyone's finished. That joke is 20 years old. It was the first joke written by me and Tim Key in a sketch show we did as students. But you've got to step up. So where the fuck do you start with this? The crossword is now on your screen. And the crossword, I would say, okay, 8 down, shoot. I mean, what you're looking for basically is, well, you can see 11 says number down, which is the password. There we are. It looks as if it would be a good idea to get to 11 down. Hang on, where's 11 down? We've zoned in on 13. There we are. No, that's not right. That's not right, is it? Oh, I see. 11, right. 11 number down, which is the password. So what you need is first to get 11, and then that will give you a number, and then the password will be whatever that is down. Right, that's quite complicated, isn't it? 2 down equals 5. It makes it because or it could be 6. There are more numbers with 3 letters. There are numbers with 3 letters. There's 1, there's 2. Most numbers are spelt with 3 letters, you absolute idiots. Yes, 10 is another one. 17 probably has 3 letters in it. Can't you clowns do any maths? So I've said all along, maths is important. Oh boy, don't we ever laugh? If only we knew someone who had a snooker podcast. Yes, I know something about snooker. I am now the joint face of the World Snooker Tour's snooker podcast, thanks to yet another peculiar turn in my life. They both vault snooker poles. I know what that means. He did this. We don't call them snooker poles in snooker. Well, how are we going to get to? We just need the number, which is we need the password. Hang on, 12 across. Oh, clever. 12 across is Q jumpers. See, vault snooker poles, Q snooker Q jumpers. Very good. So 11 down, middle letter is E. Is it? Is it E? Right. Yep. This is almost too much for me. 11 down's middle letter is E, and it's a number. What letter then has? Yes, man. It doesn't sound a million miles away from 10, does it? I think this is almost too easy. So 10 then.
Yeah.
Hang on. Also, we've Matt.
No. 12. Yeah. 12 across isn't that? What did they say? 12.
12 across is Q jumpers, you guess, because they both felt snooker poles.
Nearly.
That's not right. Almost Q jumpers, but not quite. Anyone? I don't know. Sorry. This actually is more difficult than you thought. Who jumped the queue? He's saying. I don't know the answer to this. You're in the power. Matt, come here. You sort this out.
Hi everyone. Who jumped the queue? It's famous.
Holly and Phil jumped the queue. That's right. No disrespect to our Holly. What? So where does that leave us with? Where does that? You come back in here. You will get them through this crossword if it kills you. So the middle letter, in fact, we're hearing could be I. Ooh. Hello. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're getting closer to this password. I mean, it's sort of. So a lot of people are saying words like 6 now. And by a lot of people, I mean everyone. And by words like 6, I mean 6. Okay. So what we want is 6 down. Is that right? But there it is. Yes, 6 down. And the clue is head, heart, tits, what on March 25? Fuck me. Head, heart, tits, what on March 25? Anyone? This, I mean, it certainly looks a lot like, and I do know the answer to this, obviously. It looks quite a lot like a reference to a previous episode. If only there'd been an episode, it wasn't out. It was head, heart, tits. March 25. So it looks a lot like you're going to need to, and this is harder than crosswords often are. Not Ides, not ache. head, heart, tits, what on March 25. That is the key to this whole business. Oh, sorry about the victims of communist genocide in Latvia. Didn't know that, Michael. I tried to steer away from this. I can't not do things on March the 25th in case that happened. Yes, that is a disco in Luke's screen. International Waffle Day is right, but was there an episode of The Company on March the 25th? And how are you going to even get to this? 10 letters, yes. 10 letters. I mean, Pia says ELF 11 is the only 3-letter number in German, I think. Hello. Now then, Louis. Head down, heart full, tits normal. Yes, and trim as well. There you go. Interesting scenes. That is how you were described on March the 25th, as I'm sure you haven't really forgotten. You're just pretending to. So it looks quite a lot like the password is, well, does tits normal spell out 10 letters? Yes, it does. Tits is 4. Normal is 6. You have solved enough of the crossword. Thank Christ that bit's over. Remember tits normal. God, it's all a bit much. The words and numbers that get fired at you seemingly every day. You never asked to be puzzled at every turn. You were happy making cheese, eating cheese, smelling of cheese, more or less being cheese. You're not clever enough for this, you tell yourself. You did an IQ test and only got 23. The average is 85 to 115. You didn't make it into the test centre. You adopt most of the points for that. You bastard, nice cry. Oh, hang on. There's a Robert and the Bad Dogs song for every mood, every emotion, every US president, every service station, every avalanche 1500. And there sure as sugar is for this mood. As you set out, you stick it in your ears. And then that below that is a note to Matt, which should have been deleted. It's Robert and the Very Bad Dogs time as you walk to the park. Yes, Taylor, every US president. James K. Polk, for example. Originally by Robert and the Very Bad Dogs, but covered by They Might Be Giants. Here we go.
It's Robert. He's back. I'm me. He's me. Don't say anything if I get something wrong. You know I can't take it. Don't say anything if I use the wrong there. Nobody notices. Oh Jesus Christ, I just mispronounced the word. That's the worst crime in the world. So embarrassing. Don't point it out though, cause that drives me up the wall. It makes me think that somehow it's your fault. I wanna be clever, but even more than that, I want people to think it. I wanna be clever, don't get me wrong, but more than that, I prefer it if people just thought it. Oh, fuck me sideways, I just swore at a wedding. I said the C word to the mother of the bride. Why the fuck did I just do that? When you suggested I tiptoed across the line, I blamed you for ruining my life. Don't say anything if I get something wrong. You know I can't take it. Don't say anything if I accidentally swear. No fucking notices. Come on! For all they know, I could have Tourette's, and in that case, shame on them. Only you know I don't have Tourette's. Why do you refuse to play along? I wanna be clever, but even more than that, I just want people to think it. I wanna be clever, don't get me wrong. I prefer it though, if people just thought it. I wanna be clever, I wanna be clever, I wanna be cleverer than you. I wanna be clever,
was Robert and the Bad Dogs with I Want to Be Clever. Zoe says, and there's my monthly crush on Matt again. You'll be reported. Hare says, excellent. Tit dancing from Robert. You'll be reported. Lucy says, Matt's heaving bosoms hype. Reported. I didn't come here and show this much flesh so you could perv over Matt, you fucking... What do I have to do? Is it all out next month? Yes, but you're right. It was a smouldering performance, both musically and bangingly. We proceed. Sorry. Sorry, a glance at my WhatsApp group reveals not just the score of the Spurs-Chelsea game, but the revelation that one of my football mates doesn't know the substitutions rule. Extraordinary. Right, back on we go. That was just to keep you company on the way to the... well, it doesn't know it in enough detail. On the way to the party. You're now on your way to the party. We have a plan for next month's Robert's stop song already, and we'll see whether it comes off. But spoiler, there might be a little special guest called Tom York from Radiohead. He doesn't know yet. Just think it'd be fun. Right, we're back on. Don't worry. We just need a minute. One more time through Matt Ryer, who is Robert and the Very Bad Dogs. And you will be able to. Well, I think you already can buy merchandise, can't you? Yeah. You can already buy merchandise of the band, and the album will, of course, when the whole of the company is finished, we'll get an album together. And yes, Impatient Music will publish that, I suppose. Because what we need really as a company is more and more diverse product to worry about. I want to be clever. So we're just waiting there for things to happen. After he stated his song, Matt has a wank for 5 minutes, but you can't really see. It's why my arm is here. I don't really do humour like that on stage, but now and again I like to do. I like to just. No, it probably isn't the musical career Matt dreamed out as a kid, Dorian. But on the other hand, it's probably better than it was before he had Robert and the Very Bad Dogs. So let us not let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
I once did a gig with Blue. I did a gig with Blue.
He's performed with Blue, of course he fucking has. There we go. And it was a bit of all rise from Matt there, physically. Well, cult following is still a following. Yes, it is, Louis. Thank Christ. All right. We're just getting back to back to basics. Well, that song's done the trick. Properly flushed you out. You cried an absolute estuary, if that's a water thing. Oh, hang on, it's gone narrow. You wept so much. Oh no. Also, it's gone before. I know an estuary is a water thing. I'm an idiot savant. I wear my classical learning lightly. You wept so much near a station that you've caused flood damage and delayed Mark Watson's 5:12 train to Swindon. But what do you know? Hang on, that's not how you speak. What do you know? Hang on, that's not how you play. What do you know? Question mark. That's the most the company joke there could be, unless it had a penis in it. Although, were I to write the phrase, what do you know in a piece of fiction, I would not use a question mark, because the rhetorical drop of a question mark, as in not using it, is, of course, a grammatical trope in its own right. Nonetheless, you feel better, buoyed up by the Dogs' number 16 hit. You can definitely nail this party. And it's just as well your confidence is back to its soaring best, because Francine has wanged you a text about her costume, and it isn't the clearest text you've ever read in your life, and it's also not the least like a haiku. Yes, haiku time in a minute. You approach the building with a swagger. You've been told it's the 11th floor. Don't know when you were told that. We missed that out. You have to know. You just feel it in your bones. Sometimes you're invited to something and you think, this will be the 11th floor. It's one of those. As directed, you write the code word tits normal and throw it in a paper aeroplane through an open window. The door clicks open. Yeah. You get in the middle and press 11. Request denied, says an automated voice. Was it automated, though? It's eerily similar to how the card machine turned you down in Molly's shop. Are you being targeted specifically? This is a fun story. And yet you are moving. Maybe it's going to be okay after all. Wait, though. You've gone past floor 11. In fact, you're not just going to the wrong floor. It's the wrong building. You've somehow flown across the street. Lord. That's an expression of surprise or appeal to God. The doors open. You're in a ham company's headquarters. Bruno's Ham says a logo with a picture of a pig saying, "Oh, well, this isn't right at all." You press the button to reclose the doors. "Take me back," you whimper. That was acting. You sometimes do acting, you'll know. And without you having touched anything, the lift does start to go back the way it came, leaping nimbly between buildings, back towards the party. You can hear revelry, drug taking, board games, etc. Phew, you've arrived. Yes, it is a lot like Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, Lizzie, which was all influenced by his children. But obviously, in some ways, it's more a case of the opposite of phew. Rip. It's good that you're here, but A, what's happened was impossible physics-wise, and B, clearly machines are now interacting with you, and in ways which suggest an uncomfortably intimate knowledge of you. You have the clammy feeling that you might have already let the company have too much of yourself, that by the time you understood the danger, it was too late. You need to find Francine quickly. You pull out her text. "Hey, everyone is coming as a November event of some kind. I'm either the pilgrim setting off for America or the execution of the notorious highwayman, Jack Shepherd." God, why has she done it like this? Or the birth of Edmund Halley, who spotted the comet, which coincidentally had his name. I said comment because I've been famous on internet today. Or the publication of the, of course, that's a joke as well. Halley's comet wasn't called Halley before Halley. Or the publication of The Origin of Species. I know you realize it's too dangerous to say my costume directly, but here's a haiku. If only one of you was a seasoned haiku professional, regularly putting on Twitter. "In May's gentle light, sunbeams in my pocket glow. 7 days will go." Well, this is not quite a ball ache, but you've certainly known your downstairs friends less sore than this. There will never be an episode where I do not deploy the phrase downstairs friends. So just, if you're not already on board, get on board. Get on board and stay on board. The trouble is, you can see people in all four of these costumes. Is your friend behind the great big ship outfit, the Pilgrims, or the near life-size Galapagos Islands for Darwin, or the Edmund Halley mask, or the looming scaffold? So your options: Darwin, we win. Comet Man is the plan. The boat is the goat, as in greatest of all time, as tiresome football fans say. Or, not just football fans, but they're the words for it. Or fucking scaffold. Interesting one. Already one person has made a suggestion in the group, which is important, shall we say. But I won't tell you who, because that, well, then you know. Great laugh from someone there. Yes, is it too much for me to let you know stuff? I'm afraid in this context it is, yes. Of course, we gained two people after. We've never lost anyone from Downstairs Friends. Downstairs Friends is one of the best coinages I've had. It allows you to talk about all sorts of genitals, and people can just, as it were, awful phrase, fill in the blanks. Quite a lot of interest. I get overly excited by the idea of a boat and voting without thinking. People do sometimes. This is the randomizing factor in all of these polls. Sometimes people do just click on the first thing that comes to mind without thinking. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look! I'm going to keep saying. I'm going to say it 3 more times. Then I'm going to scratch my nose. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! It's so close between Comet Man, Edmund Halley, and fucking Scaffold, a costume of a highway. Several people have said Jack Shepherd isn't the right name. Sorry about that. Not Jack Shepherd from Lost. Jack Shepherd, olden times man who said, "Please give me things or I will shoot you." And people said, "Very well." But then one day they caught him. Anyway, if it's not Jack Shepherd, it's some other old time name like George Old, or Michael Black and White. Doesn't really matter. It just matters that he was yeah. Look, it's even tighter now. This is as tight as shit. It's Comet Man, boat, and hanged criminal all absolutely jostling together like people in the pandemic when they hadn't worked out the 2 meter thing. This is bloody hell. This is what we were. Sam rightly says you all completely forgot someone said something useful because you got distracted by genitals chat. Yes, stop being distracted by genitals. If I had one piece of advice for the people of the company, it was that. I try every time. Mooney is now on a bus, or at least a bus backdrop. If it is a real bus, I'm surprised no one else is on it. And also, it's the dimensions are wrong. But a good effort all the same. Mike says, if you think you said something actually useful, say it again. No, I didn't say anything useful. Somebody put a correct speculation in the chat box, which was then, again, awful phrase, trampled by cock. Awful phrase, but it's difficult to say what else I was meant to do. I am a writer. I was a writer. I'm a TikToker, but I was a writer. I used the... Shut up, Sam. Everyone's talking to me. No one else matters here. Sorry, that's the ego of a TikToker. Oh, man. I can't wait to get locked out of something else. Nearing 2 mil. All day, Alex has just been saying 1.3. I woke. The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was just stats by Preston. I'm from Kit, to be fair. My son is over the moon at the TikTok flu. It is, as you say, bitching. We now have a narrow lead for the boat, which I hope wins because it is that. And I'm worried about people getting tired. And you've still got a very, very difficult puzzle before you get out of here. That's the thing. Chrissy says, I need to grab my charger. I think a few other people have been grabbing their chargers, if you know what I mean. It's really easy to do jokes like this when you get on the run of it. Honestly. Sticky Bum Boys is a piece of piss. It's just this. It looks like a narrow win for the correct answer. It was the Mayflower, yeah. Can we explain the haiku? No, Lydia. No one can explain haikus. They're just too short, and people do it. Haiku. Well, basically, it's sort of. May stood for Mayflower, yes, and then the rest of it refers to a famous statue, which is where the Mayflower embarked from, wasn't it? And which is called the Sunbeam Express, something like that. We thought you'd Google it. We thought you'd Google the terms of the haiku and find it out. But we gave you, as always, too much credit. However, yes, Mooney. Sorry, I'm really sort of manifesting a bit of ego tonight, but that, again, I can't emphasize enough how important I am to the internet and its future running. But you're right, Mooney. You went for boat just because you like boats, and that was the right answer. Sometimes just saying things with your chest is the way to go. Yes, it adds up. The haiku fairly obviously referred to the setting sail of the pilgrim ship, the Mayflower. You prise up the mast, and there she is. That isn't even a euphemism. Your colleague, your friend. But God love you. Who is that standing behind her? Bugger you with a rolling pin if it isn't Camilla, your fuck ex. Oh, no. I deliberately said I hope we didn't see her again. She is brandishing a finger as long as a pool cue and looking at you as if you smacked a pianist, a good one. Well, I think was she Geordie? Doesn't matter, I can't really do it. I can do it a bit. Well, she says, if it isn't Mr., Mrs., Miss, Ms, or prefer not to say, leave me at the expo. And they're bit on the side, Francino, she was a Geordie, because I've really gone for it. She is not. Your voice chokes in your shit. She's got another bit. Your voice chokes in your throat. Hang on, something else has happened. An advert. Problemos. Yeah, we've gone back to the start of the entire company. Sorry, you've triggered the bit where we go back to January the 1st. Camilla is rolling her sleeves up. Wherever there are people making trouble for the honey business, I expect to see you hanging out me ass with people like you. She beckons Francine over. Let's settle this, you honey-hating shitbox. She pulls a folding table out of her back pocket and slams it down. Arm wrestle me, bitch. Sorry. Bitch legs. It's hard to know how to say that in an accent. It's not real word. Francine is a strong woman, but Camilla has muscles like ham hocks, and she looks ready to kill or hurt or be nasty. You can feel sweat down your back, in your bum, and in someone else's. How? Fight, says a voice. Incredible use of bitch legs. I would say the only use of bitch legs, but it is a human voice. I will be disappointed if I don't see people's usernames turn to bitch legs after this. It's coming out of a speaker. It's Alexa. This is more and more disturbing. Francine gets down on the floor. Duncan says, "Is my hand in someone else's ass?" Not anymore, Duncan, but it appears to have been fleetingly. Or maybe not. Maybe you imagined it. Your character has a weird old imagination. Francine gets down the floor. She's game. You want to help her. If only you could push for her. And you can. You can get 40 people writing push in the chat box. But it has to be exactly 40. This is a sort of a rerun of the infamous "Can we get 25% for everything" thing, which is one of my favorite things ever on the company, but didn't go well. Where's my phone? We need a timer. Phone's gone. Fine. You can get 40 people. It has to be exactly 40 in 30 seconds. Fewer. But sorry, we don't. It won't. You don't have to write it until we begin the count. Give me my phone. You absolute. And I don't say this nicely, improviser. Okay. So basically, if we don't get 40 in 30 seconds, she will be overpowered. Moore and Francine will go bust, overcommit herself, fall off her chair, go. But be careful, but not too careful. I'm going to put 30 seconds into this. I have not to boast, a phone which can time things. And we go 3, 2, 1, start now. You have 30 seconds to write push exactly 40 times. Be careful, but not too careful, but be careful, but be wary, be brave, but be 20 seconds. Someone now, if you're a good team, should be counting. Yes, well done, Lydia. I don't know how many there are. No one can count this quickly. Alex's don't count, and that's a general rule for life. 10 seconds to go. Her chair, the floor is a chair, I don't know. There we go. That was 30 seconds. Yes, there were different ways you could have done this. There were 27 post-match messages, 28 in the end. You were 2. The time is up. Camilla fucking has beaten her. Round 2.
You just counted mine.
No, we can count yours, but you're still 10 short. You gave Francine too much power, then not enough power. She's lost the first round. We're going to do this till you bang it on 40. 30 seconds back on the clock. Thank you, Christian. It is brilliant, isn't it? Why am I not? I like it. Pete, right, everyone who did it last time, plus 10 more. It is that simple, but is it? If we put them all in one thread, they'll auto count the comments, she says. Fuck me. Mine is one person do them all is also a good idea, but you'd have to trust one person. Oh, this is devilish. I love this sort of thing. Are we ready? You will go again in 3. Yes, I'm sorry, Mike. I know you've already started a thread, but in 3, 2, 1, and go. Once again, we need 40 pushes. And she's shoving the hand, she's shoving the arm, she's doing her best. The thread isn't working. This is nightmarish. But I think this is possible. I think you should nominate one person to type it 40 times, but I don't know if you ever will do that, even though it's been suggested. This is great. We're going to have more puzzles like this, fuckers. I love this sort of thing. Hare says, oh, God. And she's right. And we stop there. And once again, somebody please count the pushes. This isn't that hard, but it is a bit hard. This isn't even a puzzle. This is just a demonstration of whether humans can work together to achieve goals. Turns out they can't, no. But at least we know. Do we have? Yes, it's a bit like Fox, but higher. So do we have a count on how many there were? Mark claims 40.
She's dying. You're killing her.
She's just getting beaten up a lot. But I don't know how many there were. Can we have a definitive count? Maybe there were 40. Has anyone counted those pushes?
No.
Because otherwise we'll never know if people have actually succeeded.
Someone say 40.
48.
48. You were 8 over. Okay, you've gone too hard. You've gone too soft. Let's find a perfect, the sweet spot, the middle. Yes, Tasha, it is too much. Zoe suggests hair to 40. Dr. Gregors has also had a good idea. That is also allowed. It doesn't have to be 40. I did not do anything of the sort, Alex. Right, hang on. Okay. I'm going to allow you.
They're just doing it. They're just writing.
Yeah, but it hasn't not even started yet. I'm going to allow you 20 seconds to talk amongst yourself. I think you should do what Mike suggests and copy and paste it and then leave it the fuck alone for 30 seconds. But can you do that? Or will it be like the switches in Taskmaster where eventually you have to fiddle? Sometimes you have to fiddle. Okay, there you go. Chris, I think that was Chris's.
Hold on. To go, Chris.
But then, okay. No, you're right, Matthew. It's not exactly 40 people doing it, but you've collectively problem solved. I think you deserve this moment. I'm gonna
definitely throw in a push.
You mustn't do that, Alex. Otherwise, everyone. Okay, I'm going to start the count. I would like Chris to copy and paste the 40 pushes, and I would like everyone else to sit on their hands, either literally or metaphorically. Alex's will be discounted, of course, and you can do that as much as you want. Good, good. And I have started the timer. This is okay.
Fuck that one up, didn't
Right,
you?
hang on.
I'm counting on your boy.
16, 20, 23, 27, 34, 30. I think there's 39 there, but I count them very quickly. 7, 10, 16, 20, 22, 27, 30, 30.
That's only like...
It should be 8 fives, but I think there's not. That's the end again. Do we have 40 there? We think there's 8 fives there, which is 40. I'm trying to stop your life. Well done, Greenberg, a regular newcomer. Let's never speak of that again, except we will, because you watch. You're going to have an almost identical challenge to that next month. I think my favourite bits are where you all have to do stuff like this. Okay, good. Great stuff. My word. Yes, hero with a half beard, turtle power, but with a mouth. Man says, Chris, congratulations on successfully counting to 40. All right, pal. Any need to be sarcastic? What have you got going on in your life that's so hard? Love you. Thank you for being here. I mean, thank everyone for being here, but especially you, mate. Sorry, except you. All right. Her idea was brilliant, and a thread would have been the way to do it. But again, there's more than 100 people doing this. It's not easy. Here we go. Francine sends Camilla's arm crashing down on the table with such force that her aunt feels it in Newcastle. Camilla wails. That's like in Geordie. Everyone claps. Victory to Francine, hollers Alexa. You grab her arm and leg it to the toilet. Behind the locked door, you hug her like an absolute Furby. I'm so glad you're safe, she says. We don't have much time. Why? I don't know. It's a phrase you often get when people are reunited in films and the like. No, I do know, if I'm honest. The AI is onto us. It knows that I told you. I mean, it was in front of 170 people at the away day. Sure, not all of them knew what the fuck was happening, but enough. And if the company can't use you, it tries to destroy you. It's tried with me because it can't love me. And now it'll do it to... Her voice breaks. She reaches into her pocket. Here. It's a love heart. Oh. Love hearts. Communicating strong feelings since the 60s. It's how your mum proposed to your dad. It's also how Margaret Thatcher announced her resignation as Prime Minister, delivering almost 200 of them to the press over 3 hours. It is a long tweet. You're right, Lydia. We have a blue tick. We paid for it. We paid for it, if you don't remember, because we thought it's the sort of thing the company would do. She gives you another one, shyly, and another one. You look down. I believe you. Thank you for loving me. Because we can. Then she hands you the packet, motions to you to hand her one in response. You wonder what she's looking for. Well, there are 4 options. You hold it in your sweaty, but nice, but sweaty hand. You won't be able to... If you're not familiar with love hearts, perhaps you're from outside the UK. I don't know if you have them outside the UK. They're tiny little sweets with a message on, normally something like, date me. And in the 80s, kids used to exchange them at school. These are real love hearts. Each one of them has a message on, which you may now choose between. Your options are always, dream girl, true love, or this one is just like a cute face, like a face in a love heart. Always, dream girl, true love, or just a heart-shaped face. Her eyes bore into you like sexy blowtorches. What are you giving her? Interesting. Dream girl with an early lead. There are some, well, let's see, shall we? We've got them out here. Haven't seen them since I was a little child. I sort of am surprised to find that Love Hearts are still happening. Deirdre has a packet on her or them. Remarkable. What have you got, Love Hearts? You're an adult. Crow on fuck boost deserve to be on Love Hearts, and so will they be because once we've established the app, we will reach out to whoever manufactures Love Hearts and offer them an app spin-off packet. You can get customized Love Hearts right for Christmas. Then the T-shirts, the app, and the Love Hearts. This is going to be. Who have to work again beyond the company. I told you when you first came to me with this project, I said yes, this will make us unbelievably rich, and I don't give a shit how we get there. There's quite a bit of talk about Bon Jovi in the chat box, rightly or wrongly.
Again, why?
Why? Don't know. I don't know. Or do I? Am I the guy that set the puzzle? We are living. To cite the combo's best known hit. There is a puzzle going on, yeah. Quickly in the chat box, have I ever been to see Bon Jovi live or not? Yes. Where?
At his house?
Yeah. Wrong. They were at a space station. There isn't always in the packet of Love Hearts. I'm holding. I have one in front of me. Here's the always. Surprisingly, yes, I went to see them once. They played at the football ground of my team, Bristol City, and I took my then wife, who was a fan, and it was quite good actually. Even if you're not a huge fan, you do realise an awful lot of the Bon Jovi canon. Just of course, they put on quite a show. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much. Yeah, it's one of those things. Or the only thing is, if you're a half fan or not even really a fan at a thing like that, everyone else is massive fans. So there were bits where they played songs that no one knows, but you and everyone's singing along. But I enjoyed it. I don't regret it. I'd see Bryan Adams if I could, but realistically, I wouldn't know. Loads of people have got packets of Love Hearts. Also, Kat has a packet of Always, the popular sanitary towel. Dorian has no, Bon Jovi did do the theme. They named it after the Bon Jovi song. Yeah. I was going to make a joke about another Bon Jovi song, Dry County. I won't do that. It's not my fault that someone else brings up tampons and that I know a lot of pop songs.
Clip it. That's the clip.
No, I don't think it is a clip. Thank you. I'm a viral guy. My next thing can't be stuff about Always. Not that. Right, the poll is ending. Probably not a moment too soon. Is Bon Jovi a band, not a guy? Asks Tone. No, you're not wrong. The man is called John Bon Jovi, which is itself a slight play on the name John Bon Jovi, his name. But the band is called Bon Jovi after him, which must be quite weird. It's like if Queen had been called Mercury or something, and the rest of them were like, okay, fine. It's quite a rare example of someone thinking, what should we call this band? I suppose just my name. Or like if anyway, we could do that. You get the point. Yes, Van Halen. There have been other ones. There's been quite a number, actually. The Steve Miller Band was very much Steve Miller going, I know what we'll call it. Ben Folds 5 was a sort of a case of a guy going, I'm the best one here, fuck it. And but of course there weren't 5 either. There were 3. It was one of their jokes. Funny guys. Actually, I mean, they were. I love Ben Folds 5. I don't know why I said it so sarcastically. Some of Folds' later decisions disappointed me a bit. All right. Always, of course, like the previous 3 Bon Jovi singles. Well done to all of you who got that. The rest of them weren't well-known singles. I thought you would get it as a group, though. A band who were heavily influenced by Robert and the Dogs. Her face lights up like Blackpool. Oh, my God, you got it. You're so amazing. You're so... What? That's the sound of an alarm. What? That's the sound of meaning harm. Excuse me, gentlemen. Suddenly, every electric thing in this place is emitting a siren, and Alexa is going nuts. Traitor here. Find the Twitter I've written, but traitor was meant to be again. What's Twitter? I only know about X. You and Francine look at each other, frightened, but sort of sexy frightened, if you can imagine that. Please all pull a sexy frightened face. We have to get out of here, she says. Agnes told me once there's a secret exit. Where? I wish to Jesus I could remember, says Francine. You're right, Kristen. Who knew that earlier alarm from the real world was foreshadowing? Hard to arrange things like that. Alex had to be really persuasive. I just remember her saying she was worried that the honey mafia knew about it, that they were tweeting it out even, but I wasn't totally concentrating. I was watching Married at First Sight Croatia and doing my pelvic stuff. Well, there's certainly nothing in here. You come out of the WC and hurriedly survey the flat. There's a fire escape, but surely too obvious. There's a giant, magnificent fish tank, a running machine, and a huge plant pot. Where are you going to go? You can feel your enemies, flesh holding and digital, closing in like flies around cheese or like followers around a video. This choice could make or break you. Fish tank? Many thanks. Plant pot? YTF not. Don't know what that means. Machine with Francine, and it's called Fire Escape. And that's like in a tone of exasperation that you never make the obvious choices. Quite a lot of, well, let's see, shall we? Let's see. There's certainly a fair bit of talk in the chat. There's a lot of enthusiasm for Fish Tank. Some of it seemingly based on a quite far-fetched solution, and some of it just people really like fish tanks. Diane has reproduced a tweet which seemingly came from Honey Expo earlier. Hare has said, I would love to know how to get Fish Tank from that. Someone has already explained how to get to Fish Tank from that. Sometimes you guys have shifted it, but a lot of the time you're amazing at it. I was too hard on you first. And if you need me to pick you up a bit more, an app is on its way. This is your final puzzle. And so with a minute to go, I hope you've got this right. Otherwise, potentially terrible. Yes, app hype. Obviously, when the app does come out, you're all not just going to have to get it, but I would say persuade 100 people each to get it. And then it starts to become a thing. You know, you might not think everyone out there wants to be soothed or fuck boosted by me, but we'll see, shall we? Very, very impressive by Louise Robb as well. Many of you actually managed to do this. I think what it shows is that it pays to be looking at the various splinter Twitter accounts. There's the Honey Expo one. There is still a male voice choir Twitter. The company itself sometimes pipes up on show days. It is enormously worth looking at it. You're not exactly homework, Bex. Just next time, and there will be a December episode, by the way. I know there's been something that lacuna. Is that the phrase? Ooh. I don't know. What's the phrase? Anyway, hiatus. But I was thinking of another word. Yes. But there will be a December one, which may or may not be Christmassy. Well, and by the way, we started in January, but it won't end in January. There will be 3 episodes after this: December, January, and February, ending on my birthday. And you're all invited. No, I don't think so. But there has to be a limit. Once you overstay your life, surely. Right. Well, Louis says I just let the clever people deal with it and go along with them. That's also my attitude, Louis, and that's why we had a financial crash. Never trust other people, but also never trust yourself. Just hope for the best. Yes, but the financial crash indicates, in a sense, the preponderance of people who are clever enough that they've been able to erect these veneers beneath which they conceal their behind which they conceal their stupidity. Anyway, we could talk about it all night, but we won't. Yes. It was easy when you kept your nerve. The tweet, unwisely put out by Honey Expo, spelled out in first letters, Utgang, that's misspelled, but sorry, Utgang Fisketank, exit fish tank in Norwegian, the language of your host, Agnes. You're not that easy to catch. Well done, everyone. You smash the fish tank glass with the lawnmower. Change this if they don't have it to ketchup bottle. Good work, Matt. I don't know how to do this, do I? We talked about this. You grab Francine and, awful phrase, plunge into the tank with her. You were being pulled down, past clownfish, haddock, Nemo, the rest. Thank you, Ryer, for your appreciation of my Norwegian pronunciation. I thought about getting Viggo Venn to do it because he is Norwegian, but no one cares about him anymore. No, the real reason is he's very busy and doesn't get up till mid-afternoon. You flop onto the pavement, clothes heavy with water, privates heavy with relevant material, brain heavy with the extraordinary events of the day. And by that, you absolutely do not mean very ordinary. It hasn't been that. You're alive. You're in love. You're in danger. The three main things everyone wants. The company still needs you, but it also wants to kill you. You'll sleep well tonight together, unless there's a bang. Or maybe you won't sleep again for a long, long time. You're on the run from a company more technologically advanced than any other to exist. There's also these honey people for some reason. Life was never simple, not even before the company. It's even more unsimple now. But you wouldn't have it any other way, except you'd like not to be maybe about to die. Into the unknown you go. Continues December, brackets, promise. Well done, everyone. You a mixture of incompetence and brilliance, I would say there. Some of the worst and best problem solving that we've seen, but you got there. You are still alive. Francine is still alive. You live to fight another day in December. We don't know when in December yet, but it won't, I don't think, be Christmas Day. I won't put it past me. And some of you, well, mind you, not everyone celebrates Christmas, and people in other parts of the world have. Anyway, we're not doing it on Christmas Day. I have a family. Mind you, a lot of people have family. If anything, you'd be looking to get away from them on Christmas Day. You've been absolutely excellent. Thank you once more. As always, we will debrief on social media. Wouldn't be amazed if Honey Expo tweeted one or two more things tonight. And this has been the company which, well, for once, I'm in the fortunate position of being able to acknowledge the help of people who are here physically in the room. So the company was, of course, made by me and Matt Ryer. And quite a lot of, I don't know why he's censoring himself. Alex Preston was here. Mart McDonald there, maybe.
I was here, guys.
Mart McDonald not only made the app, but did quite a lot of
Mart McDonald right here.
Quite a lot of art. Mart hype in the box, please, and Matt hype.
Didn't you see my graphic designs?
Get out of the way. And again, ADHD is like not a complete solution to this. Yes, life hack. You can do Mart hype, Matt hype, and Mary hype with minimal changes. Just cut and paste. Your name's Alex. Thank you. Thank you for coming. This has been an Impatient production.
They can do it.
Alex, this has been an Impatient production, sort of. And except it's the one person here, other than me, from Impatient that's done his best to stop it from happening. And you've been, as usual, excellent players. I was going to say this will be on catch up, but you've seen it, so it doesn't matter. And thank you very much. We will see you at some point next month. Thank you for playing the company, and good night.